just want to share with you a case study, if you like, of two business executives who were made redundant that I've had some exposure to, some knowledge of, and one in particular I work quite closely with. So one executive had worked in a particular business for a lengthy period of time, very senior, very specialist resource, who had very, very good quality skills and experience, but was unfortunately made redundant. The company did a major corporate restructure. That particular function went offshore, and this gentleman was given a fairly decent payout, nearly a 12-month payout. He'd been in the company for many years of service, and so although it was very much a shock and quite an unfortunate set of circumstances, he had a financial buffer to get back into the market, and I strongly counseled this individual to obviously look for the right career opportunities, but to try wherever possible to get back into the market before the Christmas New Year break. And that might have meant taking a slight compromise on income levels, the type of company, not waiting too long for opportunities to develop. These recruitment processes at a very senior level can be extremely slow. Thankfully, this individual, number one, got a really good job offer. It wasn't as well paid as his previous role, but it was a very interesting company, very good opportunity, right level of seniority, and would give him a good position to put onto the CV. And very thankfully, this gentleman took my advice and took the opportunity, even though there was a reasonable, significant shortfall in the salary. He's back engaged. He's back in the market, no downtime. He got his massive payout from the previous employer. And from my perspective, happy days. He's able to recalibrate, getting back into the market. Conversely, another client who was a very senior general counsel legal resource in a well-known technology company was made redundant back in October of last year. And, an okay payout, but not massive. Had only been in the company for 3 months, so 3 years, and so the payout wasn't overly significant. And, sort of spent a lot of time being extremely fussy about career opportunities. And, basically 12 months later, still unemployed in the market, has not had enough job interviews, and I was quite disturbed to find out that she was in fact offered a position that paid around $200,000. Now, this position was obviously a lot less than what she'd previously been earning, but it would have got her back into the IT industry. It would have got her back into some form of income, and she could have recalibrated. She could have, used that time to sort of regroup. It's always easier to get a job when you've got a job. And, all in all, it would have been a very smart move to have accepted that job offer. Now, this is the rub. This person may go on to become long-term unemployed. So 12 months out, and it gets incredibly hard to get back into the market. So I strongly recommend, if you have been made redundant or you've been released from a company for whatever reason, you've got to try and get back into a market as quickly as possible. Obviously, trying to, preserve your career pathways, but sometimes you've got to take a compromise. You've got to compromise on the salary. You've got to compromise on the location. You've got to compromise on the job title. Maybe it's not the perfect career move, but the choice between that and being unemployed, and being really realistic about being unemployed for more than 6, 9, 12 months, and how hard it is to get back into a market at that point, because eventually employers start to think, well, why have you been on the market this long? Why has no one else picked you up? Why are you still out looking for work after all of this time? And it can get incredibly difficult to sort of answer those questions. My other strong piece of advice is, when you are made redundant or released from the company, make finding your next job your absolute priority, but keep yourself busy. Volunteer. do a study course, do anything you like to keep very active, and have a proper plan for how you're going to spend your time, because months lead into years very quickly, and you can find yourself very, very idle and getting yourself into a little bit of a tailspin. So it's really important to stay active, but treat finding your next job like a job and give it the priority, give it the emphasis that it needs.